You know, folks, the whole world is talking about Bitcoin. Want to know why? Maybe it's because Bitcoin rose in value over 150% last year, and this is just the beginning. Bitcoin is online investing that anyone can do. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org today. Take a master class. Download the Book of Bitcoin and take your investment portfolio to the next level. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org and discover all that a Bitcoin can do for you. That's bitcoinuniversity.org, bitcoinuniversity.org.
A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now is Steve Moore, the great economic expert and also host of More Money on Saturdays, 1 to 3 p.m. on WABC, the greatest station in the entire world. So, Steve, real quick, we just have a quick update. Are you getting any intel on who's going to be Treasury Secretary? It's all over the news today that Trump was talking to our dear friend Larry Kudlow, of course, right. WABC host, and Larry said, "I'm withdrawing my name." He wants to. He knows that hosting on WABC is the greatest honor of all, yes, rather than the White House, right?
Yes.
But now there are other names like Scott Bessent. Do you know if the president is who it is and when it might be announced?
So, same thing happened to me. I was at Mar-a-Lago this week, and the president asked me if I'd be Treasury Secretary. I said, no, I'm not giving up.
Don't give up that Saturday gig.
Yeah, that More Money is really amazing.
Yeah, he called me, too, and asked me to be Treasury Secretary. I turned him down.
Yeah, he didn't call me. He knows how I handle economics.
I was waiting for the call. I was waiting for the call for Attorney General.
I did tell the president that I thought John Catsimatidis would be a great Treasury Secretary.
By the way,
so, John,
I agree.
Your phone may be ringing soon. But look, to be serious, I think it is down to look, Larry. I know he's sort of taken his name out, but if the president asked him to do it, I think it would be hard for him to say no. So I'm not going to count Larry out entirely. And then you've got Scott Bessent, who's a good friend of mine. John Katz, I know you know him really well. I think highly of Scott. I think he was an excellent transportation secretary. And then there's Howard Lutnick. And by the way, John and Rita, I don't know him. So, John, do you know him?
Well, and by the way, John is off today. He's with us in spirit.
You have to sell for the rest of us. I'm sorry.
But I will tell you, I know Howard well, and I decently well. I love Howard. He's actually a very good man. Cantor Fitzgerald, obviously, everybody knows the story of what happened during 9/11 and how he, rose from the ashes. He is a very good businessman, great soul, does a lot with, philanthropy and helping, veterans, and smart man too. So I feel like there's some great choices in there. I mean, you can't go wrong. They're great choices.
Yeah. Well, I'd much prefer Scott Bessent because I work with him. I know, we've got to get that tax bill through. He knows the process very well.
And I've heard he's a smart guy. Ed, you know him, right?
Yeah, no,
very smart man too.
Very, very smart.
And then the other big position, of course, is National Economic Council, which is, remember, you guys, that was the job that was held by the great Larry Kudlow. And, again, I think that the president said, Larry Kudlow, I really need you back. I think, Larry, you might actually give up the Kudlow show for a year or something and do that. But, look, the president is going to make some excellent choices. I think if Scott Bessent does not make it as Treasury Secretary, I think he'll be, the National Economic Council. By the way, I love Doug Burgum. I think he's a great Interior Secretary.
Oh, we love Doug. Love Doug. And also will be Energy Czar, too, we're hearing.
Yes, there'll be Energy Czar. And then you've got, I know it's controversial, but I think RFK Jr. is a really inspired choice. Take on the, pharma and take on the big, and take on the FDA.
He's going to make America healthy again.
There you go. I got to tell you, Rita, my wife loves RFK Jr., and we got Make America Healthy Again bumper sticker right on our car. So I think that's fantastic. And, I was at Mar-a-Lago this week. I got to tell you, everybody's so pumped up. Everybody wants to help the president. Everybody wants to do it, from day one. And I just noticed that I've been traveling the last, 10 or 12 days. Everywhere I go, people are just, my line is that, when Kamala Harris first started running for president, she said she was going to bring joy back to America. And boy, has she.
That's a great point. Larry, thank you so much. We'll see if Larry gets it. We'll see if Scott Bessent gets it. We'll see,
Rita,
obviously, with all these choices.
I know you're
real
running out
quick.
of time, but I want to alert your listeners tomorrow I will be live. I will be taking callers, and I want people to be prepared for this. The question is going to be, if you were running the Government Reform Commission and we're trying to cut government spending, what would you cut? Where are the ways we can reduce waste, inefficiency? Because I know the listeners to this show probably have 1,000 ideas of how we could do that.
That's a problem, Steve, because you need like at least 3 days for calls. If that's the case.
Let us count the ways.
Yeah, your show's only 2 hours. That's not enough.
All these ideas to right over to Elon Musk.
Yep.
And we're going to put them right in front of him. So,
perfect.
Folks, tune in tomorrow 1 to 3.
Tune in 1 to 3 and call in with your ideas to the great Steve Moore. Steve, thank you very much. Thank you.
Janine Pirro here for Colonial Metals Group. Colonial Metals Group helps Americans protect their future with the most trusted store of wealth in human history, physical gold and silver. If you're retiring or retired, go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Pirro for your free Janine Pirro Colonial Metals Group Retirement Protection Kit, or call 800-965-8004. 800-965-8004 now to receive a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver.